everybody, on a cold, wintry night in Nebraska. It was 10 below zero here today, Brian, in Kearney, Nebraska. And they're saying that tomorrow's going to be 20 below zero without the wind chill. So what the flip? Woo, it's cold.
Yeah, it was a handful of degrees below zero, but it's supposed to get down to double digits below tonight. So it's gonna be
Yikes.
cold.
I'll have to be honest with you, though. Everybody's complaining about it, but I actually like it. Feels cleansing. It feels like it's like, just like it's just a whole, just ice. Like nobody can move. It's like, but I went to the gym tonight and it was crowded. It was packed. I was really surprised. So that's
I
good.
love the winter. I'm a complete 100% winter person. I don't mind the cold.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I can drive in the winter. So, because I'm from New England. So I watch these yahoos try to drive in the winter. That's stupid.
Don't get me started,
Don't
man.
get me started over here. Those bastards.
Yeah.
All right, Brian. So we had a good podcast. We had a lot of people tune in. It's probably because I dropped the F bomb a couple times. So these
The horror.
F bombers like what I had to say. So what's your take this week? You've been mulling over this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've been digging into it again, but one of the things I just want to reiterate here is that there are everybody and his brother out there with a podcast on YouTube is breaking this thing down and talking about the report. Excuse me. And we want to do that a little bit, but I think really what Mike and I want to try to do with this over the course of the next podcast or two is really paint out how the playbook that is emerging through this report about IHOP is pretty consistent across the landscape that we've been talking about. I mean, you can talk about Robert Morris, you can talk about Bill Hybels, you can talk about, the whole plethora of people, Daystar, everything that is just like
Jeannie Mayo.
work. Oh, yeah. Saving the best for last. And her successors, quite frankly. It's all different. It's a matter of, there's degrees and severities and varieties of abuse, but it all has the same tone to it. And it pretty much all uses the same playbook. And what we're kind of hoping to do is connect that to our experience so that you can connect it to your experience and that you can do a better job of, watching out for yourself and your family and the people you love and hold people accountable who want to exert maybe power over you that they don't have any right to exert over you.
Yeah. I mean, the theme that I see that's disgusting and I want to just blow up is the idea that they're right, you're wrong, right? Then they hold that over you because they have some kind of spiritual position, which isn't even biblical. I mean, it's not even it's all that Bill, what's his name, Gothard bullshit that was pushed out years ago. And that idea that, because you're the man of God or you're they are in some kind of spiritual authority, you just have to be quiet, right? And I just think that's it's such a gross, it's just so gross because really what a man of God or a woman of God is, if a true blue person of God should do, is be completely humble. So if somebody comes at them with some truth about whatever, something they need to be confronted on, they should walk that out in the most humble way, and not use their position to defend themselves, but to really examine what this person's trying to say. And they don't do that, and that, so the person on the other side of that is left to think, well, I know I'm right, but I can't prove it, but I'm just going to go away. And then all these evil thoughts come in, like, is it me? I'm a mess. I shouldn't be a Christian. All these stupid things the devil just kind of pounds on them, and they don't get any reprieve, and that bothers me. Because I'm on the other side of it now. I don't believe those people. I could care less. They could. Somebody made a comment a couple of weeks ago and saying, "Well, I don't listen to Mike Donahue because he's not under anybody's authority." And I just started laughing because I was like, "That's just so. It's so old school, so 80s, way of looking at it, and I'm
Yeah,
so beyond that. Like, I don't need to be under anybody's authority. I have my own walk
yeah,
with God that I'm under His authority. I don't need to be under Pastor so and so to be able to check all these things with that person. Of course, I have friends of mine that I talk to about, including you, about things, and do get spiritual input, but I wouldn't say I'm under their authority. I just say I've got some friends of mine that have a relationship with God, and they'll check me once in a while and go, "Where's your heart? Where's your motives?" And we talk about it, and we're good. What else do you need? Like, that's iron sharpening iron. Like, that's
right,
what do I need? I need to be in a cage, and somebody needs to be managing me. That's just ridiculous.
right. Well, you look at, if you want to, with these folks, I mean, let's just pull the Bible out for a minute. I mean, Paul says, "Hey, don't say you're of Paul or of Apollos. Um, don't ascribe yourself to me. Let's look to Jesus. Let's follow Jesus." He said, "Follow me as I follow Christ." He said, "Look, I'll try to live an example, but I mean, don't follow me. Don't be a Paulist. I mean,
Right.
be you know,
A better translation of that is follow Christ while I'm following him.
right.
Let's follow him together. You
You
know,
know, and clearly the New Testament teaches that we submit ourselves one to another. And that's a really a humble, as you mentioned, and a servant concept. So that whole Bill Gothard teaching of umbrella of authority, um, if you don't know what that is, you should probably Google it so you're familiar with it. No, by the way, Google Bill Gothard sexual abuse, and you'll find that Bill Gothard was under some kind of weird authority. But anyway, it's
Hustle
really
magazine, maybe, I
kind
don't
of
know.
a made up concept, and it's convenient for people who are running churches, and we could do a whole deep dive into this sometime. It's convenient for people who are running churches to set themselves up as though somehow they have some, status above everyone else, and that we should, submit to them because, as I said before, they got some half-assed Bible college degree through the mail from Waxahachie, Texas, by open up the book and filling out the exam, and getting somebody to sign on the dotted line. I mean, that doesn't give anybody any kind of authority. Either that, or go Google the Monty Python sketch where they you know talk about having authority because some watery tart threw a scimitar at you. I mean, that really is what it boils down to, that argument. And really, and we've talked about this on the show, these people don't have any sort of god-given authority from on high because they have a pastor's title in front of their name. That's just not, in my understanding anyway. I'm not a theologian, but that's not the way I understand um, Jesus. That's not really what he's after.
Right. Yeah. This morning I was just, I'll call it a quiet time, whatever. I take some time and sit in this chair and drink coffee and write stuff. And so I was writing this. I wrote, um, love. I love God. I love actually, I wrote this. I love what I think God is, but can't stand the pretension of the church. Money and power rule. It's stronger than love and truth. Like, money and power really, like, we have to face it, people. Money and power is stronger than truth. Not be only because people let it, right? Only not because it is, but because in that culture, in our Western, Christian culture, we have allowed money and power to be louder voices than truth. And the proof is, we don't hire prophets or spiritual coaches anymore to coach pastors. We hire church growth consultants,
Right.
right? We don't want to talk about the quality of the convert, or the quality of the Christian, or what your words, and I like them better actually, authenticity of the Christian. How authentic are you? Like, not how Christian are you? Not I don't care about your behavior. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how authentic are you in your walk with God? Are you honest about it? If you are, struggling with pornography, who are you talking to about that? If you're struggling with gossip, slander, greed, gluttony, whatever. Half the Assemblies of God pastors need a lesson in gluttony. I mean, you go to these conventions and they're a bunch of fat asses, and it's like, come on, guys, have you read your Bible? Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but maybe. Anyways. But are we talking about the quality
Right.
of the person?
Right.
Of your authenticity? No, we're not. We're talking about how do we get more people in the building so we can look good. The veneer looks good. So, we look like we have the fruit of the spirit. You know, we, I don't
Well,
thing.
here's the difference. You can play a part. Let's say you're a pastor. You can play a part in front of your people. You can create this persona and this image that you maintain. And if you're doing that, it's to control and manipulate. I mean, it may not be conscious, but that's what you're doing. But if you can't be honest about who you are, and you can't be honest about when you struggle and fail, people around you won't be honest about who they are and who they struggle and fail. And people will stuff the things that
Yeah.
if you have a healthy church, those are the kinds of
Showtime.
people we should be able to bring out in the open. We should be able to help each other rather than stigmatizing struggles that human beings have and we hide them in the dark. We create the situation where nobody can talk about the things that really matter because
Right.
we're all acting. Again, some of our favorite stories we talk about the woman taken in adultery, some of Jesus' encounters with the Pharisees who were truly curious. I mean, he just spoke the truth to him. He didn't say it in a judgmental way. He said, look, this is the way it is.
Right.
Let me help you out with that. Right. And if we can't be that way in the church, then really, by definition, we're hypocrites.
Right.
And if the church thinks it has something valuable to offer um, to people, to other human beings, um, and they hide it behind this veneer of fake, then that is just the biggest stumbling block there is. Because guess what? Everybody, as time passes and the internet proliferates, everybody's bullshit detector gets a little bit more fine tuned and a little bit more fine tuned. And, that is just the way it is. And so being authentic as you can, I mean, none of us can be 100% authentic, is really how you're going to get taken seriously. And
Yeah.
it's really how you're going to help people. And if you're about helping people, that's the way you're going to be. If you're about building a brand so, you can make money and blah, 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 then, at least be authentic and honest about that. Right.
Right. Yeah. All right. We're changing the world one fat Christian at a time. It's my little thing tonight.
We
All right.
realize that people struggle with all kinds of different things. All right. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
please apply your sense of humor here. I'm not, yeah.
But don't. I don't really care. Okay. Hey, man. See you on Saturday night. No, we'll see you Sunday, everybody.
Good
Take
night.
care.
Hey.
Groomed in 10. All right. See you. Bye.